La la. Hello peeps and welcome back to Project Hospital. Welcome back to campaign 3, where we have been taking deep dive looks, in-depth looks at various aspects of the hospital. We've covered quite a lot, and today we'll be looking, starting to look at technologists and the areas that they look after. And specifically for this episode, we'll continue the diagnostic theme that we have been on with the doctors, and looking at, so we've done diagnostic units, but then technologists run specialised diagnostic rooms. Now, they can vary. Now, they tend to crop up again in these departments that we have over here. We're currently in general surgery, because what's nice about general surgery is they have two different ones. They have the cardiography and the sonography unit. These two units here, and they both require specialist technicians in order to operate them. Internal medicine has the cardiology one, and the orthopedy has the sonography one. Cardiology has both, and then neurology has one of its own here, neuro exam unit as well, which I don't have these two departments open yet, so we can't actually have a look at the neuro exam unit, but we will in the future, that's for sure. But they're all, these three different rooms are pretty much the same. It's just the equipment that they require that varies. And the technologist that goes into it. So we can see here, this here is the sonography room, and it says here that the sonography unit provides specific ultrasound based examinations and treatments. The cardio one is diagnostic unit, provides various examination methods and tests related to the cardiovascular system, and then the only other one that we saw here was the neuro exam, and it provides specific neurological examinations. It's fairly vague. However, what you'll notice is that if we have a look at a technologist here, we've got Robert Davis, who's working in a sonography over at general surgery. He is a UCG specialist. Now, if we just click on this specialist, we can see the different types of technologists that we can have, because technologists are specifically trained in certain areas, so that they are absolutely specialists. So we can see here that a UCG technologist is capable of operating ultrasonographic devices. Right, so this is why he would be in the sonography room. And we can see that a cardiologist technologist is capable of operating examination devices related to cardiology. Surprise, surprise. And then neurology technologist is capable of operating examination devices related to neurology. Well, makes sense. And then this would be for your guys down in the X-ray department, and this is for your lab technicians, which we'll come to later episodes. We're covering these three, so it's fairly simple. You have a specialist technician to go with each specific specialized diagnostic room that there is, and these three rooms are pretty much identical, except they just have a different selection of tech devices in them, which is fine. Easy to know what it needs because it tells you, which is always nice. Now, what I would say about placement of these rooms, I've noticed in this hospital that they have been placed with the walk-in clinic rooms, but while they can take clinic patients, they do also take hospitalized patients. Now, bearing in mind that a clinic patient can walk to this room, but a hospitalized patient needs to be taken to this room via a stretcher nurse, a nurse who does patient transfers. You would want to minimize what she's doing, how far she's walking to take, she is walking to take the patient there, right? So in my mind, it makes sense to have these different diagnostic rooms actually closer to the ward and make the patients walk here, who are just walking clinic patients, so that the nurses working on the ward don't have to march off miles away in order to take them. It's all just, keep it nice and local, right? Surely. I mean, that's what makes sense to me, at least. Anyway, might be a bit tricky to do in this hospital because, as you can see, we've freed up some room from reducing down the diagnostic rooms, how much space they take up. But yeah, we're probably going to leave them mostly in situ just because of space restrictions. But if you're building one from scratch, I would recommend having these types of rooms closer to the ward and giving them their own waiting room for clinic patients that will come to them. You'll want a waiting room connected to the fronts of the doors of these rooms for clinic patients to go and wait should there be a queue. What I would say though is that these rooms tend to be pretty quiet on the whole. I think hospitalized patients use them more. And I found that, like you can see here, we've got somebody working in this cardio room day and night, seeing clinic and hospitalized patients, and yet there's a low workload during the day and nobody goes there at night, meaning that, we probably don't need Dana here. What I also noticed with these is that not a lot of clinic patients, hardly any, if any, use these day and night. It tends to be the hospitalized patients, you know what I mean? And you can see here, this one here, none. So what department is this? This is the orthopedic department. So Carol here never gets any work, and I don't even have it open at night. It's just idle all the time. And a lot of these rooms can be like that. So why have it? It does offer us more examination options. So when a patient comes into the clinic or a patient's on the ward, we'll get more options. Let's find a patient. We'll get more options in available examinations. So we can see here that this examination, the UCG examination, is available to Fraser because this room is here. If we didn't have this room, that examination wouldn't be available for him. It's just that the people that are coming in haven't needed to use it. I guess they probably generally send them to X-ray. But that's why we have it. But I would say that if you're having a hospital that is struggling to make money, it's worth looking over these rooms because these tend to be the first ones that start sitting idle. And I would take a look at those, and this is where you could probably make cutbacks, to be fair. So as promised, in the last episode, I did indeed go over these diagnostic rooms and sort them all out. And the equipment, again, does change, does vary a little bit. The equipment actually is almost identical, or is identical, to the doctor's office where the walk-in patients go into. The equipment's the same with the addition of this. This is what makes it a diagnostic unit room. There is an exception. So we can see here actually with this one, because this is in the doctor's office, isn't it? But it doesn't need that additional stool because of course they're lying down in here because they're a ward patient. So you just need the one stool for this computer in here. With the one exception, as I say, in this department, which I think, is this internal medicine? No, this is general surgery, right? With the exception of general surgery. So general surgery needs a dialysis machine, which is quite a big, bulky bit of equipment. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same. But because we need this dialysis machine, the bed couldn't go back into the corner. And why is that, you may ask? Well, have a look at this. So if we create a diagnostic unit in here a minute, okay, and we pop down an examination table, so you can see the dialysis machine turns blue, right? You can see that's turned blue in the menu. And when we've placed this bed has turned blue as well, meaning, and if we hover over it, the dialysis machine flashes blue, and it means that these two items must be placed together in order to work. And it makes it a little bit easier for you. So when you pick up the dialysis machine, you can see there the flashing blue thing, so you know exactly where you need to put it. It has to be in a very specific place. As soon as you place it, all the blue flashing and craziness is absolutely resolved. Yeah, so that's how you know. You know, it will, to be honest, this will probably come up quite a lot in X-ray. I don't know. It certainly used to. I've got a feeling they might have made X-ray machines now a little easier to build, because I tell you, they used to be quite the headache, but I do believe they've made those better now. So yeah. But otherwise, these rooms are done, and it has created some negative space, some void spaces that we're not currently using, which is fine. I'm sure that will change in the future. We've got like these massive toilets, which I just think is total overkill, and not really needed at all. Well, I mean, the toilets are needed, but do we need this many? Probably not. Anyway, we're going to stay with general surgery and take a look at these rooms. And you know what we might do? We will work on this cardio room here, and I mean, she's quite a good member of staff, but we don't really need her, do we? What other departments do we have cardio? Have we built any other cardio rooms? I don't think. Oh, there's a cardio room down here, which I think is internal medicine. Yeah. Ooh. Which is, yeah, very low. So who's our worst? Okay, so it's going to be Dana here, who's the least qualified. So because what I'm thinking about doing is we might as well close this down at night. So sorry, Dana, we just don't have the work for you. So we are going to get rid of Dana. And we have Frank here working it in the day, taking both hospitalized and clinic patients. So what I thought I would do, let's make him lose his room. I've been looking at the style of these rooms and trying to decide how we can deal with them. Oh, and something else. With the diagnostic rooms, of course, I haven't built an office for the diagnostic doctors. Currently in this hospital, they are sharing this space. But as we know, I built... no, they're in here. I have built brand new offices for all the other nurses and doctors, so I thought it was best to build a new office for the diagnostic doctors as well. And what I did is I took the stretcher nurse office and pretty much adapted it. So we took away a couple of the desks, because I feel that 3 might be fine for the majority of the time, and we had to put in a printer for the doctor's on-call room. That's something that absolutely has to be done, but as you can see, it's a fairly easy swap. Oops. We've just taken out a couple of desks and made it an on-call room instead of a nurse's station. And Bob's your uncle, there it is. I thought we'd keep it nice and simple, eh? We like keeping things simple. Yes, so this is pretty much, these rooms are pretty much exactly the same as the walk-in doctor offices, because the technologist does stay in the room, something we were considering on trying to do with these and decided against it in the end. But this is actually how these rooms work. So I thought what we might do is use a doctor's room as a template to build a new room here. So we're going to, I don't think that chair's going to go. Let's wait for, where is Frank? He's going to his workplace. Let him sit down in his chair, get up and leave. There we go. And now we should be able to delete this chair. So what we will do, we'll come into our prefabs, and we will get a doctor's office for general surgery, and we will slam it in there. Okay, slam it in there. But we are now going to change it up. So first things first, we'll get rid of that, and this is a cardiography room. So we'll do that. Instant missing equipment. That's fine. We knew this was going to happen. So we will remove this door, because what I would like to do is swap a few things over. We are going to, on the floor here, we're going to make this the carpeted area, and we're actually going to use the dark tiles. We're going to make this the tiled area. So we're going to make this half the doctor's office. That's what we're going to do. Yes. And we shall now just get rid of all that. Now, they shouldn't need a place for patients to sit, I don't believe. So I don't think we're going to need that chair. We'll move this. I think we'll do something like this. Oh, actually, look at that. We've got a little more room. Take that out. Something like that, maybe? Not sure. Don't know if we'll be able to have this plant. To have this plant, I think what we would have to do is actually flip this desk. No, it's still not going to work, is it? I think I'd like to leave the desk where it is anyway. Okay. So, I mean, they do have that flower up there, which is kind of nice. So what do we need in here? So, well, the big piece of equipment, of course, is the USG. Do I keep saying UCG? I do apologise. The USG sonography unit is the main deal, right? So this, we absolutely need that. Without that, it's a bit daft, isn't it? Let's get the examination table, and we need to try and work out where this is. Right, this doesn't want to go anywhere. First of all, let's see. Can we put this examination table somewhere? Oh, interesting. We really don't have enough room to do it, do we? Let's get rid of this plant. You really want to float around like that, don't you? Okay, that's obviously the way that the equipment needs to be placed in the room. So let's just put that over there a minute. Do you know, is it better there or there? I suppose because of the door of the bathroom. It's just a little weird here, isn't it? Do you not think it's a little weird there? I think it's a little weird there. Now, we can see it's flashing blue. So here, this is where the USG machine needs to go in relation to the bed. But you can see the bed's still blue, and that's because it's saying, well, we also need, ECG. We need an ECG as well that goes on this equipment table. So we're going to grab that equipment table. So you see that has to go at the end of the bed. And then we're going to grab the ECG, which goes on top of it. There we go. And now we've managed to sort out that entire area. Let's get rid of these windows. It's not working in this design. So let's just get rid of those. There we go. Excellent. Good. It's a bit hard to see it because of all these shelves, but yeah. It's in there. It's in there. Now, lab analyzer, multi-purpose lab equipment used to analyze various biological substances and samples. Now, this apparently is, you don't have to have it, but you could, right? It's an optional, that's why it's yellow. It's an optional thing. And what I've noticed with some of the optional things, it can give you even more examinations available. So it's possible that without this, there'll be an examination or more that's not available because this isn't in our cardiography room. So we might try and get that in there, to be honest. Now, we need our disinfectant set up. So we're going to pop that in with the bin. We're going to get that in, definitely. We need to get in the medical light, as always. So we're going to pop that in up here. Get that on the bed. Now we need some sort of medicine thingamajiggy also. So what we might try and do, if we put this in, will it let us put the lab analyzer on it? It will. Doesn't really look like it fits though, does it? Sort of looks a bit rubbish. It does look a bit rubbish. Right. What else could we put it on? It's not going to look good on there. That's even smaller, that surface. So maybe another equipment table. No. And then if we press control, we can get the thing off the top of that unit. And then let's see. So I'm thinking maybe if we pop that there. Interesting. Okay. I would like to try, if I can, to get in these curtains, but you know, it's got really cramped really quick in here. It really, really has. Oh, that will go above there. But then where would the bin go? But where would the bin go? It's so cramped in here. I don't know. Maybe we'll stick that there by the toilet. You know, maybe we'll stick that there by the toilet. And now can we get these privacy screens in? I like the idea, yeah. I like that. Maybe just the one. Like that. So it looks like they can... So if somebody walks in... And of course they will. They'll walk in. They'll keep going to the toilet because they're a nightmare in this place. Right. So do you know what we might do then? Is we might put in this tall one. Put in the tall one like that. There we go. So they're very similar, but also different. And what we will do is change the walls over in a minute. But I'm just wondering for additional... So if this is to do with the heart, look, we could put a heart poster up. Should we put a heart poster up? Boom. A little heart poster. Maybe we could put in a little info board. That might be nice. Something on the walls. Okay. So we've done the floors, but as you saw, we also need to sort out the walls. The toilet's probably fine. Not that we can see it, but I'm hoping it has the blue tiles. So what we would like to do is get this around the new office space. I've just done that one. The new office space, which is this area here. And if we up the walls, we can see that it's the opposite way around, and I like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep that. Oops. We're just going to... Right, come on. Craziness. Where is it? Where's the one I've just made? I'm lost. There it is. Over here. Oops. Think of that wall. There. Okay. And now we can put Frank back. There we go. And you can see, remember I was saying about you do need waiting rooms outside these rooms. And that's because clinic patients can come and sit and wait to go into these rooms. So a waiting room must be attached to the door of these rooms in order for them to function correctly. Otherwise, you'll get a warning message to say that a clinic patient needs the room but can't use it. And so they're going home. And that's how you would resolve that situation, is make sure there's a waiting room attached to it. So there we are. Okay, so Frank, we've done it. We have done it. Oh, yeah. A cardiology room. Just for you, Frank. And does he like it? Nice environment. Okay. Good. Good. And he has a coffee machine in there and a bathroom, but but he doesn't have other things, and he's like food, so he will, and he is hungry, so he's probably off to go and get proper bite to eat. No, he's actually doesn't want coffee. He wants the water machine now. He's going back. Whatever, Frank, whatever. Okay, so now shall we have a quick look at the second type of room that we have here, because Robert, we can't do the third version, but it'll be a similar sort of deal. You know, nothing crazy is happening here. And we got 2 of these rooms. Do you know what we'll do? We'll mess with this one. We'll mess with Michael's room. Yes, we will. So first of all, we will get to the same situation where I'll copy this room over, I think, actually. That's what we'll do. So we've got Michael. We're going to bust his room. Sorry about that, Michael. And we're going to learn about this room. First of all, let's let Michael get out of the room. Okay, thanks, Michael. And bulldoze everything that is in here. Excellent. And then I would like to... what am I doing? Over here, I'd like to copy this room, spin it around, and stick it in here. Right, excellent. We are then just going to make it not one of those, and we're going to make it a sonography room like this. Boom. Excellent. And then we are going to remove everything from this area. Okay, because we're happy with his office, but we're not happy with the examination area, right? Okay, so again, look at all the stuff that they need. It's all that blue instantly. So similar sort of deal. It does look like it's going to be a similar sort of deal. So we know that we need the bed. So there it is. It's in, right? Now, we've got an elastograph is special mandatory equipment that is used for measuring elastic properties and stiffness of soft tissues. So we're going to pop that there. That's fantastic. It is the correct colour for me. We're going to hover over this bed just to find out exactly. Oh, did we not need that? No, we did need that. Oh my god, this needs all sorts. Let's get the USG machine in. We're going to pop that there. Excellent. And then we need another equipment. So it's the same equipment table, it's just a different thing that's on the end of the bed, right? Which is the shockwave therapy. Now we've seen that. I think that's actually a treatment. So that's really fantastic. So there we are. Now, what it has done is taken away the area where we put our bin and stuff before. So because we put our disinfectant and that here before, the disinfectant will go there, but the bin won't. So that's a thing right now, and it probably is also going to be stopping our privacy screen as well. Our little curtain. It is. We can't actually get it in anywhere, so they won't be having one. It's a bit of a shame. Okay, fair enough. That's fine. So we will need, of course, one of these, so we might as well get that in. Now, we don't have that optional, there isn't that additional optional thingamajiggy, so that should help. Yeah, so if we put in this cabinet again up here, in fact we might actually put the cabinet there, then we can put the bin and the disinfectant thing. It doesn't actually say that disinfectant is needed, and that's because there's a sink in the bathroom, but we're going to pop it there. Okay, so we're going to pop that there. Now UCG, I suppose we are on internal medicine, aren't we? Because I'm thinking about posters again, right? Internal medicine. Shall we put like what should we put up there? Internal medicine. It's not. It's general surgery. Let's put the liver poster up there. Put the liver poster up there, and then another one of these info posters like that. Yeah. Okay. Righty ho. Is everything in there that it needs? It's just staff now. It's just staff missing. Look at that. There it is. So it's very, very similar, and I would imagine that the neurology room will will be very similar. It'll just probably be this table with something else on it. That's probably what we'll come to discover. So the only thing that we've not been able to put in here is our privacy screen, which is a little bit of a shame. I think it's a little bit of a shame. Yeah, I really don't think I can fix that without actually getting rid of the bookcase or something like that, which I'm not going to do. So there we are. So now if we pop in Mark again, and there it is, there's that room as well. So like always, between this episode and the next episode, I will do the same for all the departments, because it is rinse and repeat with this game. It's just, once you've looked at the room, it's the same across the entire hospital. And even though we haven't looked at the neuro exam room, it's going to be exactly like this one. I know it is. So we don't need to worry about it too much. But there we are. So that's 3 of the 5 specialised technologists done. And I think at the next episode, we will take a look at the labs, which has changed a lot since the game started. We used to just have a stat lab, and now we have 3 different types of medical laboratories to look through and play with and check out what's going on. So yeah, we will be going in depth into medical laboratories. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the episode. If you did, please hit that like button. As long as you are here, why not take your first step on the path to total coolness by supporting me via Patreon. The cooler you are, the harder I work, which means even more SHIZWAH.